Happy New Year. Tiger possibly leaving. Best shoes of the year coming at you right now. The Swoosh Life Podcast. Season 3. Welcome to 2024 and welcome back to the Swoosh Life Podcast, episode 60, and probably the last one unless there's some major news that happens of season 3. So this might be the season 3 finale, coming back at you season 4 in February. But welcome back to everybody, and welcome back to Blake Sledge. Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
and
welcome.
And we are ready to get going. Matt's getting his car detailed. He'll be home in about half a block. So if we don't hear him for a little bit, or if you're watching us on YouTube, see him for a little bit, that is what's happening. But Keith, dressed to the nines. Tiger news, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But how you doing? How's everyone doing?
Doing great, boys. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. Matt currently could be abducting Tiger Woods somewhere and bringing him underground. We don't know. It could possibly be happening right now, but it's glad to be back with you guys. Blake, thank you for joining us for probably the last episode for season 3. And I know we're going to get into some heartbreak stuff, some hopefully good news, bad news, everything. But Blake, how was the holidays?
Man, holidays were good. Kids were happy with the gifts. I was happy. Wife gave me a PS5. Shout out to Mrs. Sledge.
Whoa.
So I'm finally on the PS5 train. My son's had one for 2 years, so no more rubbing it in my face from my son. But yeah, other than that, man, I had a happy holidays. Finished 23 off with a bang. Trying to stay positive in 24 and just hoping T-Dubs isn't leaving the brand, man. God, I can't imagine a brand without Tiger Woods on it.
I know. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. I think everyone's doing good. Everyone, New Year's. Matt, I think had a good New Year's. I had a good New Year's. I didn't start 24 off right. Wife tested positive for COVID this morning, so we are dealing with that. Just trying to laugh through it already. I was so positive going into 24, but we are good. So we're gonna get around the horn because we have other stuff to talk about. It's a year-end wrap-up show, and so what would this show be without talking about our 3 favorite shoes of the year? And these are going to be our golf shoes of the year, our 3 favorite golf shoes of the year. So, Keith, why don't you start us off on what you like the most out there? Your model, colorway, specific, get right into it on what was your favorite 3 of the year. And he mutes himself after 60 episodes.
Oh, it's still season 3. I see. Definitely still season 3.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a
Matt, Matt, you can also jump in here and say how your holidays were before we get going too. Now that you are back, you really were only half a block away.
I'm back. It was meant to be. I'm back in the Matt cave. So Keith, go ahead, take it away. We had a good holiday, and can't wait to hear your top 3 golf shoes.
Yeah. Now that I'm off mute, I actually got a little mix between 3, 2, 1 with my top 3 golf shoes I have. I got them right here next to me. So if anybody's watching on YouTube, they can see them as well. So make sure you guys go subscribe to our YouTube channel. But I'm going to start off with a late edition that I got from Matt, of course. Thank you, Matt. He sent them over to us. It's the Air Max 90 Players Edition right here. It's coming in my top 3. I love the way they put some good detail on these with the stitching in the back and everything, and kind of like the water scratch off kind of thing design that I'm a little afraid to do because I don't want to ruin the shoe. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I want to take a penny or a quarter and start scratching away like I do with my lottery tickets and lose all the time. So that's my number 3. I'll kind of run through these pretty quick. Guys, I might surprise you with number 2, but it's the Victory Tour 3. Ooh. I loved the reconstruction of the shoe. I love the way the swoosh kind of fades away, kind of like the Infinity Tours a little bit. Yeah. But And I actually love my black and white pair right here. I just love the clean look, the white swoosh that makes it pop, everything. Tiger, we can make something like this for you, something just like this, a nice little T-Dub logo on it, a little bit more support, a little bit more wrapping around the foot. Let's do it.
Those VT3s give me like such Penn State football or like old school football vibes.
Classic,
yeah. That classic, just black and white, cleat, kind of thing. I think even Oregon in Fiesta Bowl was wearing their throwbacks, and all the kids had black and white shoes. The kids, that's 1,000 years old, but they had the black and white, kind of just like, because that's the old school look, So that's what those really bring those in.
It goes perfectly with what I'm wearing right now. T-Dub mock red, Sunday red. Let's go. One last time. Let's do it. So for number one, I've been a big fan of the Affinity Tour line since like the second model came out, the second edition of Affinity Tour. And we've might have or might not seen pictures of the new Infinity Tour Next Percent. And I love a couple of the features on it. I know we'll probably get more into that in season 4, but so my number one golf shoe of 2023 is the Masters Peaches Infinity Tour Next Percent. It is. I didn't have a chance to wear it this year. Usually I wear some of my nice popular shoes at I'll go to Bethpage once a year or something like that, and I'll rock these there.
Yeah.
So these are still fresh as can be right here. But this is my number one golf shoe for 2023.
The Brooksies.
And I just love
them at the Masters.
Yeah, the Brooksies. I love the detail. I love the sway on them. I love the coloring, everything. It was a good mix up. And hopefully we see more of this going on. I know who knows what's going on, but what's coming for Masters this year, what's coming for the US Open, PGA, everything like that. So hopefully we see more something like this along the lines. But Blake, I'll send it over to you. I know we're going to pick our number one favorite shoe release of the year. I'm going to change it a little bit, but I know we're going to get into it. Mine's just a golf shoe because all I freaking have is golf shoes. I do not wear anything else but a golf shoe on and off the course. But Blake, what's your 3-2-1 for 2023?
Oh man, there was a lot of good releases, solid releases this year. So to start off 3-1, at 3, I'm actually gonna go with the Air Max 1 G Masters, the Peaches. They grew on me. They really did. At first, I was not a fan of the bottom of them. I didn't feel like they gave enough traction, but actually after I bought them and wore them, I had the sport red, varsity red ones, and they're super comfortable, and so I had to get the Peaches as well. 2, I'm going with just the classic triple white teed up 13s. As you all know, if you've heard the pods from earlier, I bought multiple pairs of that shoe with the purpose of soul swapping, putting them on some different shoes. I'll probably be posting some of those relatively soon because I have gotten some of them back from some of the swappers. So that'll be cool to kind of unveil. And number one, obviously, man, it's got to be just the sneakerhead in me. It's got to be the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Golf. I love that Jordan brand is basically putting their feet down in golf and saying, you know what, we're going to also invite some of our collaborators into this space and grow the game in that direction. I mean, we've all seen and heard from DJ Khaled this year, Travis Scott having his own fundraiser, golf charity events and stuff like that. So to just grow the game in a way that just kind of brings more of the sneaker culture into more country clubs around the country, I would appreciate that. I see you with your chain, Matt. But yeah. So I'll send it to Matt because we haven't heard from him too much. But yeah, those are my top 3 golf shoes.
Well, Blake too. I think that not just sneaker culture, but fashion too is coming more into it. And obviously, breaking news if you guys haven't seen, but Jason Day has left the Swoosh to sign with Malbin. Malbin still has some Swoosh ties and stuff, so I still see him probably rocking a collab with some Nike later on. But they've gone their own way with signing their first PGA professional for for their line of clothes and everything like that. So that's just bringing the fashion part in too. And I think we're going to see more and more of that this coming year in 2024. Matty, I think, is probably getting ready his shoes. So Matt, you're up. Oh, there's your Malbon. So there you go.
Yeah. No, I'm a big Melbon fan. It's cool. I think that's going to be an interesting move. And I don't know, are they still partnering with Gigi Stoll? You know, she was wearing Nike stuff with the Melbon M on it. So it's interesting. It's probably like more of like the Melbon House brand stuff is what I'm assuming that's going to be. But yeah, dude, for this year, it was tough for me because like I was like, man, honorable mention, like Air Max 1, bringing back the Big Bubble Classic and turning it into like launching at the same time, like right around Air Max Day. We got the white red, the classic color, and we got a ton of good colorways. Gum available now on the white and black ones. So that's like an honorable mention for me. And this one's gonna seem a lot like Blake's, man. You know, number 3 for me, Peaches. Like Peaches for me. The one thing I would say is you've seen the pictures of the folks that I played with. You know, when this stuff gets dirty, it's just, you know, it's kind of like that concept of like, okay, like who's designing the shoes? And I get it. Is this like a collector's piece or something that you're meant to wear? And, you know, we always prefer that you wear your shoes. So just make sure you put that stain repellent on before you guys get out there with that. But like the touches, like the canvas laces and all that stuff, making it seem like a sack of peaches. It was unbelievable. Number 2 for me, Eastside Golf 6. This is the one for me. Shout out to those who sent it over. You know, like, man, the cool thing, like you guys know I was waiting for Oreos all year long. I don't understand how in a world of Panda Dunks, where every teenage girl has a set of Panda Dunks on, we didn't just get a straight up Oreo. But I don't always need just a black and white shoe, guys. You give me a strong third color, the green, the Griffey vibes, as Gumby nailed back when we did our Nomad. And then the little touch of gold, the accents, plus the story and the theme. Phenomenal drop. And then my top release, Travis Scott, man. Like, that's the thing. It's like, what it meant, like it had non-golfers, like people were discussing sanding down, like, oh, how much grit do you need, and I'm gonna put a sander to it and get rid of the nubs and stuff like that. Like, I think it's kind of interesting when, you know, you bring in non-golfers into the golf world, and that's what it's all about. And I think, Blake, you nailed it on the head, man. What Jordan Brand is doing there, pretty phenomenal, pretty good. And then if you're going to ask what my number 1 non-golf shoe of the year was,
We weren't there yet.
Okay, cool. All right,
we'll get to it, man. Don't rush us. We got time, baby. I
had to drive a full block.
Yeah, we'll get to that after this. I think I'll go next. I think mine, my third was the 6s. I like the 6s specifically. We'll go with just because I'm a fan of it, the way it tastes. I'll go with Cheerwine. 6s. I think these are pretty cool. Details on them and everything like that. So that's my third. Second is, maybe these are my honorable mention. Third would be the Ryder Cup AM ones. Those ones are pretty sick. You can rock them Memorial Day, 4th of July, anything like that. Second place, TW13 re-release is just too good. I ended up getting a pair of white and black, and so I don't, you know, everyone that knows that listens to this, I don't rock black shoes, but if I'm gonna rock black shoes, I'm gonna rock the TW13 black shoes. So I got those, and then I don't know how many times I said it, probably 1,001 time here, but peaches are my number 1. Forever and always, they might be. If we go back in time, it might be lobsters and peaches, right? Had like 1A and 1B, like, you know, for what they've done in the past couple of years. Truthfully, they just hit to my soul. Like, my daughter's room is peaches themed. I'm from Maine. There's lobster and peaches. I don't know. Put me in South Carolina, lobster and peaches, I guess. I don't know if South Carolina is known for lobster and peaches, so I don't really know what I'm saying. But
geographically, puts you halfway there.
You know what I'm saying. So I think those are my top. I think it was a really good year for collabs. It was a really good year for different styles. I think we could have obviously gotten more out of PGA. We could have gotten more out of I think US Open a little bit too. I don't think US Open was terrible, but it was just different and whatnot. Same thing with the Open, but they were cool concepts. LA Country Club and Liverpool, like there was some, there's some good concepts there, and I can't wait to see what they come up with next year, because we know that next year is a very different year for Nike Golf, just in general of distribution, kind of thing, and stuff like that. So I'm intrigued to see how they still, continue to push creatively forward in what they're doing with their shoes and everything like that. So around the horn, number one shoe of the year from Nike. I've seen this one Complex and everything like that over the past couple of weeks on what they've debated. So Keith, you've already opted out of this. So totally fine.
It's right there behind me. I know it's a golf shoe, but I've wanted this since it released back in 2013. And I don't care if this is the one I missed back in 2013, because I've had every single Tiger Woods shoe that has come out ever. But the Retro Masters edition that just came out a couple months ago was one on my radar that I needed to have, and that's just my number one shoe.
Yeah.
Shoe, golf shoe, anything. That's gonna be my number one release for this year. 2023, actually. We're in 2024 already. We don't even know where we are.
It's insane.
Yeah. What's number one? Oh,
for me,
sorry, Gumby.
Go ahead, Gumby.
I'm going to go the Air Jordan 4 SB. I love that shoe.
Solid.
I think that it's so cool. I don't have it, but I want it. And I think it's just, it was really popular this year. I love that they kind of collabed with the SB side. And I just like SB collabs, as they do stuff. So I think that's my one. I don't have it, which I don't know if that's a criteria that you need to have it to be your top shoe, but I really like that one. I just like the Jordan 4 in general, so yeah. So that's mine.
So those of that don't know that when the Jordan and SB actually do that collab, they actually put more cushioning in it, more extra materials outside of the toe box, in the heel, just so that it does withstand all the durability issues when it comes to skating. I did see something pretty cool. Jalen Hurts had a Jordan 4 SB football cleat that he wore, that I thought that was pretty cool. So I love to see that Jordan Brand is actually opening up their playbook, if you'd say, to player exclusive cleats with Dak and Jalen Hurts and all these guys rocking some pretty cool stuff on field, incorporating Travis Scott and different guys like Eastside Golf, to giving them lanes to do stuff like that. My number one shoe, because those of you that have known me, followed me for a long time, I'm a Kobe guy through and through and through. It's just the Kobe brand, right? Like that's where I'm at. Kobe 8 Halo being the first one. Numbers are back. Then we get, obviously we get the reverse Grinches. We get the Gift of Mamba. We got Italian Camo coming out next year. We got so many releases that are coming from Kobe, which is, for me as a fan, it's really I'm really grateful, because it has been impossible since his passing to get most of his shoes. I mean, I was buying his shoes in crazy amounts when no one else was rocking them, because they were loud colors, they were low cut, and they were just different than anything else that was Nike was putting out, or Jordan Brand was putting out. So for me, I'd probably have to go Halos, Kobe 8 Halos. It's just a triple white Kobe 8, and the Gift of Mambas, Kobe 4s, that just released on the 26th of December. Yeah, those are my favorite, just because it's Nike is just like solidifying, like, you know what, Kobe's back, his brand is back. We're getting apparel, we're getting jersey releases, we're getting everything, which is fantastic for true Kobe fans throughout the country and the world.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree. And that's where I'll split this into kind of two categories real quick, since Keith is out of this. But and Keith, I just want to say the reason I left the TW13 out of my top three was two things. The Masters colorway, yes, absolutely, that's the one that I wanted that I missed. I just feel like the timing was bad. They released it at the end of the year.
Yeah, agree.
And I gotta say, I think a lot of people were valid in saying, hey, the price point The price
Yeah,
point
absolutely.
was tough on the
250
TW. Yeah, it's
250
really
for
tough.
the Masters, and then 220 for regulars this year. Like, it's
Yeah,
the highest bid that they have out.
I know we'll probably get into it in a little bit. I know we're definitely going to get into it, but I think the Masters December release was something planned. You know,
Interesting.
I don't know. That's just
Well,
me
let me
winging
get
it.
my top shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. But real quick, if you're asking me what silhouette was the top shoe, Air Max One. I ended up getting the OG white red plus the Golf white red, and then I got a Chicago edition Air Max One that they did for the streetwear shops. Like 6 shops collaborated on this thing, and like the leather and the quality, and I was just like, man, this is an everyday shoe from '86. That's just, it feels so much better. And I don't know, like if they're just adding more in, which I like with the reimagined, like the SB4. They said now that the reimagined 4 is going to be more SB-ish. They're going to add more stuff, and that's what I love about my shoe of the year, and that's the Reverse Grinch Kobe Protro 6. I finally got my 6s. Never got a pair of 6s. That's how hot these things have been since they came out. Like, and then I hooped in them last weekend, and the guy's like, "Are you really hooping in those?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't care if they made triple the amount." I think somebody released the numbers. I don't know if it was from like StockX or somebody else. And Vanessa even said they made triple the amount of these. Good. I don't care. I don't care that they're not resell. I think they are still reselling for like $500 on StockX. I don't care. And you know what? Honestly, if there's a lot of them, it makes me feel better kind of about wearing them. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. There's people hanging on to them. I'm not like, you know, devaluing a museum piece, right? Like, dude, and I hooped them and they're good. And they're good. And the other thing too is they're a Protro. So kind of like the reimagined, they redo, like that's what I loved about what Kobe was doing with the Protro. I'm going to put different cushioning in a shoe from 10 years ago and make you feel something different. And I don't know what the original felt like, but I'll tell you this one performed on the court. I mean, for a guy that's 41, it performed awesomely. So those are my 2.
They only get better too. A lot of people don't know that the 6 actually molds to your foot, which is pretty cool. So the longer you have them, they actually will get better. And dude, there's just so many more colorways that are coming of the 6 because it's uber popular. 4, 5, and 6 are probably been the most popular basketball shoe in the NBA since Kobe's passing, and prior to his passing, the 4s and the 5s were dominating, but now you're getting the 6s a lot, and a lot of player exclusive colorways. Guys like Tobias Harris getting PEs. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I forgot what the IG account is, but there's an Instagram account that actually like logs the minutes, like the most top 10 shoes that have the most minutes played, and Kobe's are always up there. I also think, Blake, I think that's why guys like you and me who wear a size 13, I think that's why the prices on ours goes up, because these NBA players are coming in like, yeah, I'm making millions of dollars. I'll drop $500 to get me hoop in my Kobe's.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been contacted by a couple people because of the amount of shoes that I have of Kobe's to sell, get rid of a couple of them. There's a couple of them that I did part ways with, which is extremely rare for me to part ways with a Kobe, but yeah, some of them I'll never let go. Like the Kobe 8 Mamba Curel, it's a soccer shoe that he did a collab with. Fantastic, translucent lime green bottom. I mean, it's just, I'm excited just because like you can get them again. Like it's so refreshing for me.
All right. What we've all been waiting for. I don't know where I found this music, by the way. It's in stream. So thank you, stream. I wanted to be more. Let's talk about Tiger Woods. Guys, it's after the new year. We're now January 2nd when we're recording this. Nothing's come out yet. But what do we think is going to happen with Tiger Woods? There's been speculation over the past month, 2 months, whenever, that he's done with Nike. And so what do we think is happening?
Okay, wait, but we got to frame it.
I didn't set this up very well. So
yeah. Okay,
I was just too focused on the music to make this dramatic, and then it wasn't dramatic enough. Darn it.
We appreciate the music. We appreciate the effort. I think there's been rumors for a long time, and if you've been listening to us, we've been dropping hints for more than a year.
Yeah.
Because we all thought something was up for a very long time. So I think a lot of people have been voicing their opinion. A lot of people have been saying stuff. I think the best way for all of us, first off, right off the bat, we all have to say, all of us on this podcast, all four of us want Tiger back. Do not take anything that we say going forward as, oh, you guys hate Tiger and you guys want him gone. No, we're going to state some facts. There's going to be some factual stuff here. And like, it is what it is. And, oftentimes perception is reality. So we're going to state some stuff. So the first thing we want to do is we just want to get the roundtable reaction. What happens? How do you feel if Tiger leaving Nike is Tiger's idea? So let's just say, here's the hypothetical, right? Here, so there's three things we're going to cover. If it's Tiger's choice, if it's Nike's choice, and we all know that the truth is somewhere in the middle, and then we'll finish with where we think he's going. All right, so how do y'all feel? And we're going to go Gumby, Blake, Keith. How do y'all feel if Nike said, hey, we're letting Jason Day walk. We really don't know where pro golf is going. There's a lot of live stuff. There's this stuff. We don't know what your schedule looks like. We don't know what your health looks like. Tiger, we love you, but we want to give you this offer. And then Tiger says, man, I've got other offers elsewhere. I got maybe equity somewhere else. I got all these things going on. Maybe it is time for me to grow my brand outside of Nike. If it's Tiger's choice, Tiger goes get the bag somewhere else. Is it okay with you? How do you feel about it, Gumby?
I think if it's Tiger's choice, I'm truly like 70-30 split. I'm like 70% okay with it, and I'm 30% just kind of bummed and upset. And I think it's because Nike has stuck with him through multiple things. And I think that, like, if anyone was to win again, if anyone was to do another comeback and be the oldest major winner and all this stuff, it's going to be Tiger Woods. If Phil did it at 50 whatever, and like Tiger's going to do it at 49. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to beat Phil in what he does. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that I don't believe that that's the excuse anymore, because I do think he is getting better and better and all that stuff, and he's still the needle. Like, so if it's Tiger's choice because he wants to go be Arnold, or he wants to go be, Shark or anything like that, and have his own brand attached to another like company in a sense, but not like a line, but your own brand, because there's two different things there. Because he has his own Tiger line, you know what I mean? But like, this would be his own brand.
Because the example, like you said, with Shark was made by Reebok at first, and then it was made by Izod, and it's always been like, if you look on the back tag, Shark by, kids, there was department stores back in the day called Macy's, and that's usually where you'd see the Shark stuff.
Right. And I think maybe like and I can see the way that he's built TGR, that it's not the TW logo, it is the 3 pillars logo and all that stuff, that is what it would become, under someone. But the biggest speculation is TaylorMade, which, look, I'm a TaylorMade guy, so I'm sort of fine with it because you still see his content. Grayson, on the other hand, is something that Charlie's wearing, and I just think he would buy Grayson instead of being like, instead of getting equity, because truthfully, like, I don't know how much equity you can give him compared to what a number on the table from Nike is. Like, he can't go buy Nike, he could buy Grayson. You know what I'm saying? So and if that's the case, then whatever, but it's not going to be feed the wolf, it's going to be feed the tiger. You know what I mean? Like, so I just, that's a whole nother thing that I don't think they're going to want to deal with. So if it's Tiger's choice, obviously I'm a Tiger guy, that I'll be cool, but it hurts. And Jordan Rogers posted the other day about Phil and his connection with Phil Knight and how this like maybe hasn't gotten done. But like, Phil was like one of the first guys. Tiger was one of the first guys when Phil's son passed away. Phil was one of the first guys when Tiger got hurt. Like, and when Tiger's dad passed away, like, their bond and connection goes past 1997. It goes past all of that. And there's only 2 major sporting events that Phil goes to: Ducks football and the Masters. That's because of Tiger. I just can't not see Uncle Phil stepping in and working something out, or giving him his shares or something, you know what I mean, that makes it like that we get it done. But I'm sure I'm taking everyone's points, but like Matt has said on the podcast before, or maybe it was just in our chats, Jordan covered up the Reebok logo at the Olympics. Tiger's wearing another competitor's something on their feet. Like, that hurts. That's got to hurt, you know? So if he leaves on his own, it was fun. It was fun.
It's like layered for me. I don't think that it's as simple as, I think it's messier than we really know. Just participation in R&D, being available for designers and all that. But on the flip side, it's like, if you're Tiger Woods and you do want to go off and create your own brand and start your own clothing apparel, maybe even foot apparel, or foot line or shoe line, like, do you even want to deal with all the headache that exists with that? Creating a company this late in your career, you're trying to rehab back to playing more of a full schedule. Your son is showing interest in playing, you know, sport. You know, like, who knows if that's something that he really wants to do. And I'm not saying that he's going to have to do it. Obviously, he's got a team that's going to help him do it. But I think it's very similar in kind of like what the Lakers did with Kobe Bryant later in his career. Like, there was this, people kind of gave the Lakers a lot of crap for giving Kobe Bryant 2-year, $60 million contract, you know, the end of his career. But it's like, the dude played 20 seasons for you, won you 5 championships. You kind of have to reward him. But in Nike shoes, they've been loyal. They've stood by him. When Rolex left, when all these people left Tiger, they stood by, you know, and still paid him, you know, and still promoted his brand and still ran ads with them and still took the chance, you know. But that's just always who's Nike's been. They've always been the leaders in the apparel division, sporting apparel division, taking chances on athletes and standing behind their causes. And so I just feel like Nike's bigger than Tiger Woods. You know, no knock on Tiger. I love him, you know, but they're bigger than Tiger Woods. You know, like, it just is what it is. They got a building on the campus named after you. They've done so much to show their appreciation for you, and to then go out and wear another competitor's brand because it's available when you have world-class engineers, world-class research and developers working up there in Beaverton. Like, that is just such a slap in the face as the brand. And if you're Phil Knight, as much love as you got for him, for someone to show you that type of disrespect at this point in their lives, it's kind of like, okay, I'm done. You know, like, dude, like, I've been right there by you. I was there when your dad passed. I was there when you had the scandal. I was there when you had the accident. And for you to just kind of dismiss them, like this isn't like there hasn't been a mutual partnership or like a open conversation, an open line of communication between both of them. Like, I just don't feel as if it's fair to the brand. I mean, I'm loyal to Nike. I'm not loyal to Tiger, you know, like, so for me, I just it would be sad, you know, it'd be extremely sad, but at the same time, it would then open up a lot of market space and cap space for Nike to go out and pursue a lot of talented young, you know, athletes and really get that roster going. I mean, you look at what happened in basketball when you had Kobe on his way out from the NBA and you had LeBron right there and he was on the rise in Miami, and then you had KD coming up. Kobe's got a signature line. LeBron's got a signature line. KD's got a signature line. Then they introduced Ja and they got Book, and they, you know, like, they just keep expanding the roster. Whereas with Nike Golf, it's like, we get the Tiger Woods shoe and that's it. Like, we all know the Infinity Next Percent and Infinity Tours, they're all Brooks Koepka's shoe, but they don't call it the Koepka 1. You know, they don't call it the Victory Tour 3, the Rory 1. And it's like, why not? These guys are multiple major champions, you know, Hall of Fame careers in their own right. But because you don't want to piss off one individual, you have to then, subdue the other ones and kind of make them less than. So that's kind of my
pay
take on it.
royalties.
Yeah, and that's my take. Like, I'm just like, dude, like, at the end of the day, bro, like, it's not all about you. Like, yes, you helped put Nike Golf on the map, but let's not forget it was there before you were there. So let's, like, it's I don't know. I'm as for where he's gonna
there
go
after you're not there.
Yeah.
And
as for where he goes, honestly, man, like, I wish him success in whatever he decides to do. If the partnership doesn't, if it does come to an end, but I personally don't care, because that's just how I am. Like, I rock Nike, period. Anyone that knows me, I rock Nike, period. So, like, if he goes, and I got TaylorMade clubs. I'm a TaylorMade guy. I got 14-way bag of TaylorMade, but if he's rocking some stuff that's made in a TaylorMade, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not. If it's got a swoosh on it, I'll rock it.
Even if TaylorMade revives the Ashworth brand, the button. Sorry, I'm stupid.
Never, bro.
Go ahead, Keith.
Like, I'm good.
You guys have made some great points, and it's tough to follow up all that, being such a huge Tiger fan. But Blake said it well, and I'm on Blake's side with this, and you guys as well. And I'm going to make a statement right here, and I will always be Nike over Tiger. Tiger just put myself and a million other people on a different level with Nike. I have my own logo because Tiger has his own logo. I was a kid back then, and it was just like something I wanted to do. I wanted like that individual, personality of of me coming out and stuff. So I think it is both ways. It's got to be like a 60-40 split between Nike and Tiger. What's going on? Nike's made a move with no equipment. Could be the next step of no Tiger, but it's going to carry on. How long will it carry on for? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's coming down the road. We don't know how far out Nike Golf is, getting major shoes together or apparel lines together down the road. We don't know that. And maybe we will find that out in the next couple of months. Maybe we won't. But to have buildings after you, everything, Phil being so close with Tiger, there's something happened 2 years ago where he showed up at the Masters wearing a FootJoy shoe. I said this before, he could still be wearing the T-Dub 20. He could have went back and wore the T-Dub, I think it was the 11. Remember, he switched back after the 13 and went back to the 11 shoe. Like, there was more structure in it. I know we can make it. Why don't we make something? Just throw something on, or a prototype. We don't need to release it to the public. Maybe down the road, yeah. But it's tough. It's going to be tough on me, whatever this. I'm still on the fence of him re-signing somewhat. Apparel, eventually down the line, there'll be a new shoe kind of thing. But it's in the back of my mind where this could be over. And it hurts. It hurts a lot for me because this is a guy I looked up to. We've all done some stupid things. We've all, whatever. But it's somebody you still look up to. And I will call him like my hero, my mentor I look up to. Just because of how strong he was mentally, physically, everything. What he did, what he just dominated. I played hockey, a team sport. Golf made me maybe a little bit more individual, better person. And I think Tiger was a big part of that. I rock his stuff all the time. It's nonstop. I've taken my cleats out of my T-Dub 15s and wear them as sneaker shoes just because it has a T-Dub logo on the back. Just anything. But like I said, I will always be Nike. Tiger just put me on a different level, and he put golf on a different level, and he still does. He still moves the needle. So with this and the way social media is now, this is going to be a humongous story if he doesn't sign or extension, lifetime, anything. And it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt me for a little while. I sound like a little baby, but it's just, you grow up with this, and it's something like a childhood dream, Like, I wanted to be just like him. Like, I try to mimic his swing. Everybody does. I walk on a course. you guys all know my scriptings and stuff. Like I gotta like everything scripted out, color base wise, like Tiger and stuff, just because it's him. It's just somebody who we all wanted to be. So I'll keep it short. That's all I have. But it's just gonna hurt for a little while if something does happen. I'm always hoping for something good, and I know us three and millions other out there want him to stay. And there's haters out there that don't want him with Nike anymore. Go ahead. Go make your comments on social media and stuff like that. But
They'll
we're here
still buy
speaking
it,
about
though.
Tiger.
No matter
Yeah,
what.
oh, yeah,
They'll
bingo.
comment, but then they'll still buy it,
Yeah. But we're still here. We're going to support the guy. But like I said, I will always wear and rock Nike. I will not wear anything else. So, Matt.
Real quick, Matt, before you say something, just to echo off what you said, but like the haters, man, they have been hating on Nike in the golf space since it happened. It's nothing new. If anything, Nike has always taken the high road in the regard of not stooping low and retaliating to some of the stuff. But I think the one thing I think that is driving this is before Jordan Brand entered the conversation in the golf space, when they did, we were all looking forward to the teed up 13, the 14. We're looking forward to a Tiger Woods shoe to wear. And now it can't compete. It cannot compete with Jordan. Nothing competes with Jordan when it comes to sneakers. Golf shoes, football cleats, baseball cleats, nothing competes. So like you just have to accept that. And I think for someone of his stature and the pride of him, it's hard for him to accept that. And Nike is seeing the results, and it is look, dude, it's a result driven business. So like you got to go with what's right and what's selling and what's popular and what's trending. And I'm sorry, it's anything but the teed up 13. Like the teed up 13 will sell, but everything else it sits. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, no, it's good point, man. And like one of the things that I'd point out is, some people were like, well, could you imagine Griffey leaving, or could you imagine Penny leaving, or anything like that? It's like it's a little bit different because those guys aren't playing anymore, and I doubt there's other companies banging down their door saying, hey, you know what, it's worth it for us to give up equity or go after somebody like Tiger Woods, right? So like my feeling on it, right, like big Tiger fan, man, I'm happy for him if that's what he wants. I don't know if I should be telling this story, but like I've heard rumors through the years that, yeah, the relationship hasn't always been good. Like one of the rumors was that when the scandal happened, like, yes, they stood by him, but there was a renegotiation that happened supposedly, right? Like, and maybe that stuck with him, right? Like, hey, you know what? You guys tried to, hold your thumb on me. Now I'm going to try and hold my thumb on you kind of thing. I don't know if that's what it was. But the way I want to reframe, and I got to say, man, Blake, Keith, I'm a little shocked by, but not really. Like you guys articulate your points well. So I just want to frame it this way, right? Look, we all know none of us have to take our L's in public. I've said that before, right? So like what happened to Tiger? Like, dude, I never held that against him. Jordan Rogers made a point about the signature shoe era might be dead. Stuff has happened with Zion in the offseason. Again, I am not pointing this stuff out to, poke these guys, just pointing out Anthony Edwards just had some stuff come out for him, right? And Adidas says he launches the shoe. John Morant's had his stuff go on, right? We're all human. We all make mistakes, right? Is it a world where Nike wants less signature athletes? They want less controversy. Like, yeah, we'll sponsor you, but we don't want you to have a signature shoe. And they're just divesting. Let Jason Day go, let Tiger go, let the other contracts run out. Like, they just want less and less, right? So let's just say they decided if it was Nike's decision to not even offer Tiger anything or give a ridiculous lowball, which could be, insulting to Tiger, does that change your opinion at all? We can just go quick yes or no around the table. If it's a lowball or a no offer at all, does that change your opinion?
I'm gonna say no. I mean, no, I don't. I don't know, man. Like, I don't feel like it's never been like that's not Nike. It's never like they give Nigel Houston a freaking signature shoe. Like everyone gets a signature shoe if you're a brand athlete. So
Rafa. But like a signature is different than. I think we need to realize what a P is and a signature, right? Like Rafa has never had his own shoe. He doesn't have a signature shoe.
But no,
he wears the Court Ballistic with a Rafa logo on it.
But like Federer had his own shoe, right? And he even had a Jordan collab, the AJ3 Federer. That wasn't his shoe.
Those shoes were never called. It had his logo on it.
It had his logo on it.
The collabs.
Did he get royalties for it?
Every other shoe that he wore was called the Vapor. He wore the Vapor at 8, 9, 9.5, 10, 11. So they were all called the Vapor. So when they retro it, they don't have to pay Fed nothing. Same thing. That was whole Scottie Pippen's argument. Like Pip wore the Uptempo. He wore the Foamposite. He doesn't get any royalties from those retros, even though he might have played with a logo on it. Like the Uptempo was never a Scottie Pippen shoe, but he wore that shoe. It's kind of like that's like the muddy part, I guess. Right? Like that's the way I understand it.
But in an era and in a space where the athlete, it is what's the term I heard earlier? It's an athlete driven business now with NCAA and the transfer portal and just the amount of resources that athletes have, social media, different things. Like they are their own brands before they even get to these big brands, right? Like they create this entire image of them online, the online profile and online stuff that in a sense, like if you are Nike, you do have to. It's like we're waiting on Wemby's shoe. He's going to get a signature shoe. You're going to have to give him a signature shoe, So it's like I don't feel like that's going away. I feel like if anything, it's gonna get stronger because the caliber of athlete that are being produced is a better than what we've seen before. I mean, it's just I feel like the difference is nowadays you have so much access into people's lives that you are going to hear more about their personal stuff that exists. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of people did that we never heard about that were signature athletes and high profile people. And you can't fault the athlete for living and being a 20-year-old with millions of dollars and occasionally making a mistake. It happens.
Well, and I think too, Matt, that if Tiger were to go and there's no more Tiger line, Tiger shoe, that I think we do get the Brooks one. We do get the Rory one. Like, I think that absolutely happens because they're going to be the only like stewards that you're going to have one on one tour and one on the other tour. And they're going to go, well, that's all we got. So here you go, and then you won't have anyone to compete against. You won't have anyone saying, no, I'm the only one, so you can look at it if you want to look at it with a pie in the sky and glass half full look. If we lose Tiger, then it is that hopefully the rest of golf at Nike will start to flourish more because you will have less of one guy and more of all the guys. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to happen because I haven't seen it from Nike since they've gotten out of hard goods of any sort of creativity, marketing, or anything for their people. You know what I mean? Like, they don't put in the effort anymore. They don't put in the effort towards fans anymore, anything like that. Like, they just unfortunately don't. We do. We're doing it, and they're trying to bring back the Nike Golf Club. That was the coolest concept I think that we could have had. And they're just going to use the logo and say, cool, but we're just getting track suits pretty much. Like, that's all it is so far. You know what I mean? Like, it's not what it could have been. It's not a secret club. It's not this. It's not what RGC or Random Golf Club is doing. It's not what TaylorMade is doing. It's not what any of these brands are doing nowadays that are popular in golf, whether it's good, whether it's no laying up, anything like that. They have created a community of fans that are highly invested in what they do. We have a community of fans that are highly invested in what we're doing right now and buying stuff. That's it.
So I forgot to add this into my preamble on this question. What if they thought we don't need to offer Tiger anything because we'll use that money to go after more of the social media folks, more of the social media stars? Like, that gives us more money in the bucket, and that resounds more with the youth than the guys that aren't paying $250 for TW13s.
You gotta go with what I mean, I don't quote Kanye West a lot, but he says, listen to the kids, right? I mean, dude, I got a 13-year-old upstairs who's crazy about golf, can talk the game with you and everything.
What's
but
he watching on YouTube and stuff? Is he watching?
He's not watching Tiger Woods, dude. I'm just telling you what it is. He hasn't seen him.
Right.
You know, he hasn't seen him. It's 2024.
He knows he knows the lore. He knows the lore.
He knows the allure. Yeah.
But
I mean, but it's like, dude, he doesn't know Tiger Woods. He knows Brooks Koepka. He knows Rory McIlroy. He knows John Rahm and Scotty Scheffler and Jordan Spieth. You know, but like he doesn't know Tiger Woods because he hasn't been relevant with the exception of 2019. So it's like, if you are the brand, I'm sorry, but what have you done for me lately? You know, like I can repay you for what you've done and stand by you all these years. But at the same time, dude, like, what are you doing? You're making it difficult, if anything. You're not making it easy, you know, and I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, dude, you're making it hard to like even talk to you about progressing this brand forward. It's like you just want to stay in control. And it's like, you gotta at some point, like could you imagine being Rory McIlroy and standing by Tiger all this time and giving him support and being there for him when no one else was, and then he just like, you know, like Tiger knows Rory wants his own brand and his own logo and his own stuff from Nike, and it's like he just eludes the conversation. You know what I mean? Could you imagine like being in that position for that many years? I don't know. It's just tough, man. Like I just feel like his personality is becoming too much.
I know. I think it's just always been Tiger though. You can read Haney's book, you know, like this is everything that he ever was. Like he's not changed. Our perception of him has maybe changed, but that's because as we get more into social media, like he recedes more, you know what I'm saying? But if you read that book, he is the most stubborn, competitive, like uber me person. Like look at what Earl was, all that stuff. Like again, I love Tiger because of what he did for me to get me into golf and what his golf has given to me. And I will drink Tiger Gatorade, and I did all that as a kid in formative years. But if I'm pairing myself to be a man and to be a person, I don't necessarily know I want to be Tiger Woods. You know what I mean? Like as a person, I mean, I like to be rich, but like that, you know what I mean? Like I don't like there's just things. Do I think I want to be maybe more of like a Rory? Possibly, but Rory's kind of gone, I don't know, a little bit, but like, or Scotty, maybe, or Tony, Family Man, sure. You know what I mean? There's more people out there that maybe like better, I hate saying it, better people, but maybe not better golfers. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think such slander from me on Tiger, and it's not like, but I'm trying to also make myself feel better about a decision that may come and talk myself into being like, it's okay. I don't need him. But obviously I'm going to feel different if it actually happens. But you know what I mean? Like it's hard.
Yeah, you got it, Gumby. And I feel like we're all in a phase right now, and Nike's in a phase right now that they're phasing out of Tiger, bringing in this new breed of young talent. Hey, these kids in college or these kids going in professional sports and stuff like that, do we know how much they're making or how much Nike's supporting them? I don't think we do know their dollar amounts. So it's like maybe Nike wants to see these athletes succeed at first and give these guys these, sponsorships or whatever, anything off the bat, but not like something like there's only going to be one Tiger Woods. There's only going to be one Michael Jordan. Like they're their goats of their sports and everything like that. So I just feel like we're in a phase right now that we have to get over too. And we've been talking about this for so long now. And it's like I said, it's going to hurt the day it happens if this is all true or whatever's happening with Tiger's contract. But it's a phase. We move on. It's life. We're going to move on from it. Yeah. So.
Well, and we couldn't sign someone like Ludwig Edberg probably because there's not enough money because There's a large contract tied up. Whereas instead we have the Cootie twins, you know what I mean, like coming up. Like, but Ludwig is the real deal. And then it seems that like a lot of those people go to Adidas, and Adidas is putting money into it. And that's, I hate that I even said Adidas on this goddamn podcast, but you know what I mean, like, but they sometimes commit to their golf brand a lot more than Nike does, and I don't know if that is a product of Nike, and they're Nike, they're number one, no one's going to touch them. Number two is Jordan, owned by Nike, no one's going to touch them. Or it is a product of someone else holding all the keys to the brand of Nike Golf, and thus nothing else can really be done.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about it before, and I'll touch on this in my closing comments. Like, we always have to separate like Nike from the people that work at Nike Golf. Like, I always feel like it's unfair when they're like, oh, Nike Golf let this happen, or Nike Golf let that happen. And sometimes it's like, you know, big brother has the wallet, you know, and sometimes tough decisions have to be made. Speaking of decisions, I want to roll into the final Keith's pick of season 3. I thought this was going to be the first episode of season 4, but I guess we'll call this the final episode of season 3. So it'll be the final Keith's pick of the year. And I think for Keith's pick, we decide, where does Tiger go for Keith's pick here? And I know, Blake, you said you don't care, but just best guess. So kind of rolling out, we've kind of alluded to, he's worked with TaylorMade in the past. They've done a lot of cool collaborations, also collaborations with Grayson. Do we think it's TaylorMade? Do we think that he is going to go where Charlie went and go and maybe get some equity, a bigger distribution deal with Grayson, or maybe he's buying Grayson? Who knows, Gumby?
Still
right? Like maybe
a red polo from Grayson though, in all of their lines forever.
Perfect time to debut it. My dark horse is that a very well-funded foreign brand wants to break into golf. You know, I've seen it in the basketball space. Like, I know you're like Serious Player One, Anta, Li Ning. Like all of those different brands, tons of money. They got Dwayne Wade from Jordan brand, right? And that kind of worked out for them for a while, right? And in their niche, in their market, they thought it was worth it to overpay for a Dwayne Wade. And they thought, right? I'm sorry, Wade is Li Ning, right? Either way, who cares, right? About those other brands. So
there's so many out there in the NBA now too.
It's
Anta, Li Ning, yeah, there's a lot.
Austin Reeves has this. No, that's the AR1.
Chill. No Reeves slander on the podcast. No Reeves slander.
All right, around the horn, and then we'll do closing comments. Where do you guys think he's going if it's not Nike? Go ahead. Whoever wants to go first.
You go, Matt. You go. Let me know. You just said it. I guess you think.
Honestly, like, look. I don't know if this is like appropriate, but it's like, look, if you're gonna cheat on somebody, you're gonna cheat on the one you're with, right? Like, or something like, isn't that how the song goes? Something like
yes,
that. Yes,
but how is he gonna go to FootJoy when FootJoy is owned by Titleist? It means he's gonna play Titleist.
Oh no,
leave Titleist.
I was thinking TaylorMade.
Oh, okay.
Because here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing. Like, it would be real easy for them to be like, man, they don't put you on social media, on their social media anymore, do they? We put you on our social media. Oh, wow, they did that to you? They made you renegociate? Oh, we would never do that. Oh, hey, you know what? We owned Ashworth. We're not owned by Adidas anymore. We've been doing these collabs. And you know, as Jordan Rogers pointed out, they have had marketing spots open that say that they wanted to focus on apparel. It makes a lot of sense to me. That one makes sense. The other thing, okay, here's the thing about Charlie and Grayson, right? Like, because I'm like 50-50, TaylorMade or Grayson right now, if I had to guess. And here's why. How does Charlie sign with them, and it's not Tiger going there as well? Like, it doesn't make sense, dude.
It's been deleted too.
Because I get this, right? Like, I get kids don't want to follow their parents' footsteps, and I get it. If your dad was Brandel Chambly, you don't want to wear Brandels, but your dad is literally everybody's favorite golfer. Everybody's favorite golfer is your pops. I look, I could never see Marcus Jordan. Right? Like, you know what? And I know Instagram's listening and reading my messages because they've been feeding me these Michael Jordan stories. Like, Anthony Anderson has 2 different stories of, like, he went to Michael Jordan's party and he had a little UA Under Armour on his sleeve, and Jordan, like, laser lined right at him and cut the logo off the shirt. Like, that's not happening in my house, right? Like, I can't imagine. So, like, I just can't imagine Charlie. If they are going away from Nike, I can't imagine Charlie signing with Grayson if Dad wasn't involved. So that's why I'm like 50-50 on it. I think it's really strong in those 2 directions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like he's familiar with TaylorMade. He's also very familiar with Grayson. I mean, his best buddy is JT, and
You
like
had to say that name. You
who
had to say that
knows?
name.
Like who knows if JT's whispered enough sweet nothings into Tiger's head, and he's already brainwashed Charlie. So I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I would love to see him kind of literally do his own thing. I would much rather that. I would much rather him go and find a smaller apparel company that just gives him the bag and says, you know what, let's do this, and create your own new technology and stuff like that. That'd be cool, But if I know Tiger, man, we're gonna get some freaking chinos and some pleated pants and oversized polos, and it's like, I understand the kids are obsessed with vintage and everything's being recycled that already happened, but at the same time, dude, like, wear clothes that fit, and like, nobody wants to wear a freaking 100% cotton polo on a golf course in 90-degree heat. So I don't know. I mean, let's go with TaylorMade.
Yeah, I think best case scenario is TaylorMade, because I think we all are TaylorMade fans. I think we have kind of trended there after Nike got out, like, in a sense. Other than, I think Keith plays Titleist, but it's one of those things where, it's just, I like Ollie and I like JP and I like all those guys at TaylorMade. So if they're gonna work with people, work with the best, and I'd be fine with it, because I know we'd probably get some cool shit out of it, because I trust those guys more than I trust some people. I don't really know anyone at Nike. Those are people I know. So I don't know why I have such a disdain for Grayson. I don't know if it's someone that used to be Nike and then went there or whatnot, but like, not went there, but started wearing their stuff or what. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know why I don't like it, but I just think you're going to go to someone that has like 25,000 followers on Instagram. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter, because Nike has nothing on Instagram. Nike Golf has nothing on Instagram anymore. But I just feel like he's going to buy Grayson more than get equity stake or something like that, So I hope that it's
But that's
TaylorMade.
the thing. Equity is the risk-free bet. Like, instead of me buying you, I can share in, you give me 10%, you give me 20%, and then let's blow this thing up. And now all of a sudden, like, all I had to do was put my name on it and wear some stuff. Like, it could be big. I don't know how big the market is for a $200 polo, outside of that. But you know what? They did a good job. I gotta point out, man, like, that's something that I was going to say this kind of for my closing comments. And again, I'm trying to tread lightly here. Look, the distribution has changed for Nike Golf. And, it's a public announcement. Mint Green is a distributor who was handling Nike Golf in Canada. They're handling North America. And then I keep seeing it like all over Instagram. It kind of like made me like sick to my stomach, because it's like, oh, Cleveland Shrixon got Nike Golf. Like, no. Mint Green distributes Cleveland and Shrixon. Those sales reps are employees of Mint Green, and now they get to sell to the other clubs Nike stuff. Now,
which I think it helps Nike, to be quite honest, because they were thin on reps. They didn't add country clubs. They didn't add accounts because it was too hard for them to do so.
Well, and that's the point I wanted to make, is that, one, my heart goes out to everybody who listened to this podcast, supported this podcast, and worked for Nike Golf, who was affected by the change, right? Like, it happened in the fall. You've seen it in the news now. Nike is trying to do like $2 billion of restructuring, layoffs, all this kind of stuff, especially like losing your job around the holidays. Like, man, my heart goes out to y'all.
We have great people that have taken care of us and listened to us, and we hope that they find their way properly.
And those people, and this is not just one source, but this is multiple sources over the years, have told us that, hey, like, if you're not a big name prestigious club, Nike Golf didn't want to sell to you. And now all these Cleveland and Shrixon guys are like, oh, we get to sell everything to everyone. Well, Nike didn't want to just do ball and glove deals with driving ranges, right? Like, if you're not familiar with what a ball and glove is, it's like, oh, you don't carry an apparel, you just do balls and you do the accessories and stuff. They cut that out a long time ago because they said that the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. but now it's different. So it's like I see these guys spiking the football, and it's almost like they're blaming the reps, that the reps weren't going out and getting those country clubs that weren't Oakmont. Oh man, you know what I mean? Like, and Chicago area, like it's a great example. And this is circling back. This is where I'm going with the Grayson thing. Grayson did a really good job. Those guys, I believe they came from Ralph Lauren. They did a real good job of making a premium product and putting it and going into places where Nike wouldn't. They went to the country clubs that don't have the CEOs. They went to the country clubs where the VPs are. Right? Like there's levels to this. Yeah. And I know Blake laughs because he knows what I'm talking about, right? Like, you know, there's the country club that hosts the major. And then there's like 5 or 7 other feeder country clubs where guys, you know, they still got to spend $1,000 a month in the pro shop minimum. And Grayson went in there and got that business, you know, and, you know, hey, good luck to those Cleveland Shrixon guys, man. I'm rooting for you guys. I hope you guys do well with the Nike stuff, you know, but also my heart goes out to those folks because the strategies are different now.
It's just tough because, like, it's not like Nike was welcomed in the country clubs. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like the country clubs that they were in and that they had, you know, standing relationships with, when they exited the hard good business, you know, like those country clubs would probably sell more hard good stuff than they actually would sell their apparel. Because a lot of people didn't want to wear Nike, but they wouldn't mind playing it because Tiger was playing it. Like I said, it's a slippery slope for Nike because like they're going to stand by who they are and they stand behind their athletes in whatever it is they choose to believe in or support. But the public opinion of it, especially in the golf space, has never been popular amongst the elitist community in golf. So let's just keep it 100 with that. You know, it's like,
especially
you know,
during the Kaepernick thing.
Oh, dude, exactly. You know, a lot of people are like, dude, I'm not wearing Nike. You know, forget Nike because of Colin Kaepernick. And it's like,
hey, that's how UA blew up.
You know, so it's like part of that stuff, man. Like, yeah. So it's like that stuff will never. I don't think that you can ever kind of get past that. People look past it when they put on Jordan because it's a Jordan, right? But they look past it, you know. But it's still a Nike product, you know. But like they wanna look past that. And I feel like Nike is finally realizing, like, you know what, like if we want to sell, we gotta be physically obtainable in there, you know. Like you can't just, you know, like. And dude, like you got to get back into social media. You got to get back into marketing and being more involved in the youth. Like nobody is freaking buying anything in stores. Like malls are dead. They're dying. You know, it's like everything, like physical shopping is kind of going away. Like everything's online. And so like you got to have a digital presence.
Yeah, or it has to be a super premium experience, right? Like if you're the Mall of America, or you're King of Prussia in Philadelphia, Woodfield Mall here in Chicago, Cherry Hills out in, like if you're the A+ mall, like you're doing kind of okay. But everything else, you're right, they're dying. It's donezo, right? So, but true story, because I have multiple stories. Like you are so right, Blake. You are so right, because when Jordan started coming out, that's when all these reps started getting calls again. They started getting calls again, like, yo, can I get those Jordans? Hey, can I get those Jordans? Hey, I heard these Jordans are selling out online. And then the reps, like, and this is more than one rep has told me this story. Like, I'd look it up and, oh, you haven't ordered from me since the scandal with Tiger. Oh, you haven't ordered from me since you told me Kaepernick was a scumbag. Oh, you know what? You haven't ordered from me in like 3-4 years, right? Because you brought in Grayson, or you brought in G4, or you brought in Peter Millar and all this stuff, right? So, dude, you are so right, is that Jordan does trump everything, right? Like he's able to like transcend all those biases that people might have against Tiger and Nike. And look, part of me says, you know what, those people can go anyways. But then at the end of the day, like you got to pay bills, right? You got to sell products. So, man, you nailed it.
Yeah, it's just I'll keep it short and sweet, but we'll keep Keith's pick, the last one for 2023, carrying over to 24. But do you feel like the Tiger brand missed the mark to beat the Jordan Golf brand because of all? Question for you guys real quick. because of all his injuries and everything like that, if Tiger kept playing and everything and he kept being dominant, I don't think we'd be in this situation we are in right now. There'd be a T-Dub 2024 out right now, coming out this spring. Just if he didn't get injured or anything, like the apparel line, the streetwear line that Jordan has. Do you think there would be like a Tiger line like that as well if it wasn't for all these injuries and stuff and the scandals and everything?
They just go ahead, Gumby. I'm sorry.
No, I just think that he would. Yes, there would be, but I don't think it would match what Jordan does. Like, Jordan has a presence in fashion. Tiger Woods is the least fashionable person that there is out there, I think. Like, if you look at Tiger Jam, stuff like that, like, his fashion is black and red on Sunday. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
his streetwear, yeah.
So I don't think there would be streetwear. I think golf, sure. I think we'd be a little bit closer, but I think Jordan was always going to creep in. His love for golf has always been there, and they took advantage of it, especially when they got out of hard goods. They had more options to open up the playbook at Nike and go, what can we take, and what can we make into a golf shoe? And so I think, I think we would be closer, but I don't think we would ever. I think Jordan would still be knocking on the door hard,
Yeah, I think Matt spoke on it earlier, and it's just, the golf division and the Nike division or the Jordan brand, like, just the creative, lanes that exist in the golf division just didn't exist because they did miss out on a lot of opportunities. You could have capitalized on Frank. You could have capitalized on the materials. Like, if you think about Jordan brand, like, even his apparel will have like patent leather accents, or it'll have elephant print accents or cement accents to just further cement the Jordan shoe. Versus Tiger, we get a black and we get a black, we get a white, we'll get something themed around a major, not something themed around Tiger Woods. There was no storytelling behind any of his stuff. You could have did something that paid homage to his dad's military service. You could have did something that paid homage to his mom. There's so much stories that they could have done, but a lot of that was too elusive to capture because of how private Tiger was and how unavailable he was to the R&D departments in the golf space. It's like, if he just would have just opened up a little bit and say, hey, let's do something like this. Like, let's tell a story. Like, let's get this stuff involved. Hey, let's incorporate my USAM colors into a shoe, like something, like that would have been really unique. And I feel like that's always kind of been Jordan's thing. Like, he's always been able, don't get me wrong, when everything fails, do a bread colorway, it's going to sell. You know what I mean? And a Jordan shoe. But like, there's so many other colorways that exist, in the storytelling behind it is part of it. And so I just feel like, yeah, they dropped the ball, man. Like, dude, we could have had Tiger, we could have had Frank, mini Frank hats forever, and we never did, until it was too late.
Yeah.
No, that's all. Oh, go, Matt.
I was gonna say,
I wanted to hear you. Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Dude, it's dude. Hey, coming from a city where Derrick Rose got injured, and people always wonder what would happen if Derrick Rose never got injured, and what if Penny Hardaway never got injured. Life is full of these what ifs, and as I grow older, you start to realize too, like, man, stuff is final, and I don't like to dwell in the past, but when you think about it, like, this is where I think that alternate universe. I think even with the scandals, so let's just say the scandals still happened, but he stayed healthy. Because what people, it was like year after year, it was like, okay, scandal. Oh, he's back injury, 2 years. You know what I mean? 2 years to get back. He's got
broken leg in 08.
He's not playing good.
This...
Yeah, it's like constantly it was like stop start. So
yeah,
to Blake's point, that he never really took any risks, right? Like wearing elephant print or tiger print or doing something like super flashy or unique, right?
Yeah.
Like to create a story,
tiger stripes or something. Yeah.
But I still think
no, we lost.
No,
Matt.
We can't lose Matt now. I think he's doing this just for suspense.
What? Yeah, he's gonna pop back. Tiger's gonna be standing next to him.
Oh no, Matt!
Please come back, Matt. Please come back. I was like, why isn't there like a? I was just gonna say, Blake and Gumby, just like, how come because you're going along the lines of Jordan having its little signature here and there, like tiger stripes on a shirt, something like. Why didn't we ever get something like that? You know.
You remember the what was it? Was it the teed up 20 that had the Frank logo on the heel?
Oh,
and
those
it had
are
the tigers. And it had the tiger swoosh stripe, and it's like, come on, man! Like, you know, like they. I just feel like they.
Those are in the bottom of the ocean somewhere or hidden
like, dude,
somewhere.
You've had that. You've had that type of. I mean, I'm not saying give me some freaking tiger teed up 13 where it's just nothing but, you know, tiger stripes. Nobody's. I mean, guess some people would wear it, but it's just like that stuff, man. Like, you just. I don't know. I just feel like if you are his team, like, tell his story. You guys know it. Tell it. Please put it in the shoe.
Right, who was
Matt is back.
Yeah. Oh, who was our lady from Empire? Who was that?
Taraji P. Henson, Cookie.
Yeah. Oh no, we lost his audio now. Matt, we've lost your audio. We can't hear you, Matt. Yeah, again. Oh my God.
Can't hear you.
No. We're last season of episode 3.
You know this is bound to happen.
Of season 3, and he's never had any problems. You guys are just hearing us live.
He's been 100. No, we're not going to cut it out. Matt's been 100%. No muted 100%. Like I do. Gumby, no dogs barking and stuff. You know.
Here we go, Matt.
Okay, so Taraji P. Henson, she just fired her whole entourage. She's like, y'all didn't get me anything for after all these awesome shows and movies I did. Y'all are gone, right? So, like, hey, but that's beside the point. Okay, so coming from a place where we always wonder if Derrick Rose never got hurt, this is what I think would happen. Even with the scandal, he plays well. He never gets hurt. He plays well. 25 majors. Great.
Why does it keep happening? Matt. Oh no. Oh no. What is going on? God, Matt's gonna have to post like a whole reel because we can't hear him. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Blake's gonna have to leave us soon. He's gonna go
I know.
work.
Hey, but let me just jump back to if I think what Tiger's gonna do next is, of course, deep down inside, I would want him to re-sign, get the apparel deal back going, and work on a shoe, of course. But I've seen some sponsored ads come up with tailor-made logos on hoodies and stuff like that, shirts and stuff. So if anything, I think he just goes that route, and I think that's all. But
all right, Matt, third time's a charm. I'm not going to even move you into the big box because I feel like I'm doing something. So we're just going to go with it and see what happens.
There was a famous line in a Nike ad with Tiger post-scandal: winning takes care of everything. If he's winning for a decade plus, 25 years, he'd have 25 majors. He'd be the GOAT. He'd be right up there with Jordan. And guess what? Jordan right now is on pace to be the number 2 brand overall in all of footwear behind Nike. Now, just imagine if they had a running division, they'd probably be right up there. So I could totally see Nike still being number 1, and Jordan would come in and be number 2, and they'd be number 1 with T-Dub in golf if the injuries never happen. And I'll just do my closing comment before I get cut off. Guys, 2020, fall of 2020, I'm a new dad for the second time. I got a newborn, and I got laid off right before the holidays. It sucks. And for those of you that just, you might be part of like the restructuring or something's been going on, man, my heart goes out to you. And I don't want to say like, oh, look at me, big success story, because I'm just a loser with a podcast. But again, you know what? Like Keith said, life goes on, and just keep moving, man. Keep moving.
I'm going to close this up as I have a screaming baby upstairs and my wife has COVID, so I got to run soon. But this has been an awesome year. 2023 was awesome. We can't thank you guys enough. Remember, if you want to become a supporter of the podcast, by going to podcasters.spotify.com/pod/show/the Swoosh Life. Please do that. Super helpful for us. More hats are still available if you like the hats. And we've got more stuff coming later this year. Season 4 of the Swoosh Life will be coming to you back in February, unless something happens. We might have to record an emergency one. So stay tuned for new topics, new guests, and all the same fun. So any last final quick comments? Blake, thanks for joining. Keith, as always. But you guys hit us up. What do you got?
Nothing. It was great to be back. Great to talk a little Tiger. Hopefully it's not our last time. And I want to echo what Matt said. Everybody that's been affected with Nike, with the cuts and everything, we've been close to a lot of these reps that are no longer Nike reps anymore in the golf line. They could have found their own way somewhere else, but we hope they're all okay. And life goes on, and I know life will go on with or without Tiger, but it'll always sting. But I'm happy to be doing this with you guys, and I will always be a Nike. So, Blake, what do you got?
Yeah, shout out to the guys at the brand. You know who you are. Yeah, thank you for everything, for sure. Tiger Woods, man, nothing but success and thank yous for inspiring me to even get into this sport. Your impact on my life has been amazing. If this is the send-off to the pod, man, I'm going to go ahead and say it on air so that we make it happen. We got to all link up this year.
Yep.
Make it happen this year. You know,
the year of the content creators, we're coming at you.
We got to
pick a date. Let's just do it.
Pick a date and let's do it.
So. But yeah, guys, appreciate you guys always having me on. And yeah, let's get it in 24. Awesome. Kobe year.
Cool. Thanks, guys, again for the Swoosh Life Podcast. That's been Blake, Matt, Keith, and Gumby. I've got it tattooed on me, so I'm Nike for life, baby. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Make sure to go follow us on Instagram at the Swoosh Life Podcast to stay up to date on all things swoosh. And if you have any questions, comments, or business inquiries, please email us at the swooshlife.podcast@gmail.com. And lastly, give us a follow or review and become a supporter of the podcast at anchor.fm/theswooshlife/support. Thank you all for listening. See you in the next one.
Checks over stripes, yeah, that's what I like. Yeah. That's what we like. Yeah.